The Steelers sit atop the AFC North. So we are going to be ranking the AFC North based on how we think things are going to shake out by season's end. Who wants to get it started?
I'm comfortable to go first. Yeah.
Go from 4 to 1.
Yeah. Go from 4 to 1.
Yes.
All right. Well, at 4, I feel like this is just way too easy of a decision, but it's definitely the Browns. They got a lot to figure out. I don't think they're playoff contenders by no means. And with that being said, I am more than comfortable with them at 4. At 3, I'm okay with putting the Bengals at 3, with obviously the Steelers and Ravens being above them. That's not the order, but I'm okay with the Bengals being at 3. It's hard to rank them above teams that, got them beat by 2 wins already. So I know that they're on paper, like their roster, like it's a beautiful thing, but their record says otherwise.
Very ugly.
They're a little ugly. They're a little messy. Not too crazy about it. I have been liking the black and white logo.
Yeah.
The colorway they have going on. Looks
Those
really
uniforms
fresh.
are hot.
Yeah, it's good eye candy, but
I candy don't win football games.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just gonna say the
What were you
exact
gonna
same thing. I was gonna say the exact same thing he said. Eye candy don't win football games.
yeah.
His
So
name is Joe Burrow. It does though. Just sweet.
So, all right, at 2, it was really, really hard because obviously we got the Steelers and the Ravens, sitting there at 1 and 2. So, with this being a very hard decision, after watching how these teams played this weekend, unfortunately, and I didn't want to have to do this, I'm going to have to put the Ravens at 2. Couple reasons for that. I just kind of talked about how the Bengals... I just talk about how the Bengals don't really got much going on and really together for them.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Bengals by 3 points.
Sure.
Dude, it was 41-38. They let the Bengals score 38
Shootout,
points
yeah.
on them. And
They could score.
as much as the Ravens are a very good offensive team, and historically they're a good defensive team, a game like that just goes to show maybe their defense isn't as good as we really thought they are. And also looking back, the Raiders beat the Ravens this year.
Sure did.
Which was, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
With that being said, that made me okay with putting them at 2. And of course, the team we were just talking about, I have the Steelers at number 1. A defense that is too good. Aside from that, if you do look at the Steelers, how they've been playing this year, all their games are generally lower scoring. So if you look at both teams, it's not like the Steelers are scoring much, but they're not letting the other team score a lot either. Yeah. And across the long haul of that, that branch, it's going to be pretty steady. They're going to come out on top, as a winning team this season. So for that reason, and I think that's a lock. So for that reason, I put them at 1 over the Ravens as of going into Week 9.
Gold.
I mean, I'll go next. You made some good points there, Pete. Bottom 2, couldn't agree more. Cleveland Browns, I have at number 4.
Boo.
What?
I boo both of you.
You boo
Come
both.
on.
Jameis
Jameis,
Winston is
brother.
the best quarterback in that.
What the
division.
fuck are we doing?
I love J-Bo, but this Browns roster
know.
is just not that good.
The Browns ain't
you don't love
doing
it
it,
enough.
man.
They
Yeah.
just traded away Amari Cooper. Zadarius Smith is
I
probably
don't think
getting
the
traded.
roster's bad.
No, the roster's definitely not bad.
I'm happy
Definitely
Nick
not.
Chubb's back, but
Bro.
I mean,
It was a Deshaun Watson problem.
Yeah.
but we're
Yeah.
talking right
Their
now.
offensive line still is not good.
Up to now, they're not better than
Jameis just
all
hung
these other teams.
350 out
They
there.
ju-
Watson
right.
can't imagine of doing
Right.
something
Against
like that.
against the
look.
Ravens secondary that hasn't been very good.
Would Deshaun have hung 350 on him?
Absolutely not.
Up to now, I would not say the Browns could beat any of those other 3 teams. The Steelers, the
They
Ravens,
just
or the
did.
Bengals.
I just think, what?
Oh,
what?
They just
That's
did.
just not true.
They
because
just beat the
yeah.
Ravens.
They
They just
all right, all
beat
right,
the
all right.
team
Right.
that we're gonna put in first.
Okay. So they beat the Ravens, and I mean there were a lot of bad plays by the Ravens where they.
Jameis
beat
could have had 3 picks.
No, I'm just he should have.
I get that.
Kyle Hamilton, don't know how you dropped that, but this Browns team just isn't that good. Like I said, they just traded away Amari Cooper. They're probably going to trade away Zadarius Smith on the defensive side of the ball. I know you still have Myles Garrett out there and a bunch of pieces on defense, but the Browns just aren't very good. And at the end of the day, they only got 1 win right now. I mean,
The Browns?
2.
two.
Two.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Look, the thing is, even though the Browns beat the Ravens, because that's what happened, right? Let's
Yes.
confirm.
Yes.
I'm missing a lot of facts
Sounds
today.
What happened?
Even though that happened, what are we gonna say? The Browns are ranked 2nd in this division, and they have a And
I mean, yeah, we're arguing.
they have
about third
2
and
wins
fourth.
this
So
season.
no,
You know what I mean?
But still, like, I'm just saying, I'm not throwing the Browns completely away. Like we're just like basically, you guys are implying you're throwing the Browns completely away. Look, I'm gonna put it like this. Jameis Winston says they're about to go on a miraculous fucking run. I'm going to trust that Jameis Winston is about to go on a miraculous fucking run.
At number 3, shockingly, I have the Cincinnati Bengals, right?
Wow.
Again, not a very good team. The other 2 teams are just very much, so much better than them. I know you got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and, you know, the offense can be volatile at times and put up a ton of points, but that defense has just lost so much. I have no faith in it. At number 2, Pete, I'm going to have to disagree with you here. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know. It's this. They've been playing some good ball, but I want to see them in some battles. And I know they make games battles that don't have to be. Like they play these games close. Chris, you said it before. They do just enough to win all the time. And at the end of the day, yeah, sure, that's going to win you games. But I just don't think they're the best team in this division because the best team in the division is the Baltimore Ravens. I know they still have some things to figure out on the defensive side of the ball in that secondary. They made a move today. Could be some more moves down the line to get that defense bolstered. But the best offense in the league to this point, second best offense in the league, if you want to throw the Lions up there, fine. But they got better adding Deontay Johnson. I mean, they got a guy who's now the best wide receiver on their team. The 2 days after they just lost the game because their guys couldn't catch passes. So they're committed to getting better. They're committed to being the best, and I think they will be by the end of the season.
I agree with
right.
most of the list.
Yeah, sure.
To a lot of Sully's points, trust in Jameis Winston. I'm not going to lie.
What do you okay, yeah.
What?
No, go ahead.
rebuttal
No,
me.
because I love Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I love Jameis Winston too.
Give your list. Go
The
ahead.
Browns are going to be the Browns. I have them at 4. Not
Yep.
going to lie. They do. It's just they're the Browns, and the other 3 the teams in that division are just better offensively and far better defensively, I think. Like at least the Steelers. The Steelers, yes. Like you said, the Ravens have some holes that they have to fix, but they are fixing those holes with like adding Deontay Johnson, and they could still add some defensive pieces, like you said. But yeah, it's the Browns at 3. I'm just
Nope,
gonna leave
4.
it there. 4,
Yep.
sure. 3, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ooh.
Only because I do think that they're a great football team. I do think also it only gets harder from here. Who were their last 3 games?
Their
It was
last
the
3?
Jets, the Giants,
Oh, they're all the ones that they played.
The Raiders, the Jets,
Raiders,
the
Jets,
Giants.
Giants.
the Raiders, Jets, Giants. Those are not good football teams.
Nope.
And what you said, then someone said it before. They haven't played any of the division games yet.
Yeah.
So now,
they still have to play all
you're
their division
fighting
games.
for like placement and playoffs, and those teams are going to come out a lot harder. What was I on number 3?
That was number 3, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers, yeah.
Yep.
And then the Cincinnati Bengals. They're number 2. They're going to turn it around. Their offense is still dynamic. I don't care what anybody says. It's Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. You can't count them out until it's all said and done. I'm just going to be honest. Their defense, yes, is not great. Not going to lie. But with that offense, they can keep up with the best offense in the league, I think.
Sure.
I'm not going to lie. And you're throwing the ball like as Joe Burrow does, you just can't count them out. And the Steelers, like I said, the only reason is because the Steelers still have a lot of long ways to go and hard-fought battles to go. Number 1 is the Baltimore Ravens. It's easy. It's not rocket science. The Baltimore Ravens are the second best offense in the league. And after they fix their little quirks on defense, I think they'll be just as good on defense. And Jim or John Harbaugh, I don't know who it is. They are.
John.
He's a great coach, John Harbaugh.
They're both great.
They're both great. They are
Yeah,
both great.
yeah.
Look
I
at
don't know what that shit is. But it tastes good.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
The little
the fuck that means.
caramel thing, shit.
Little caramel. Stop it. I'll tear him up live.
Terrible live.
Funny clip.
Yeah, and they added Deontay Johnson, so now they have a great wide receiver group. And King Henry's still back there, still gonna run down.
And
He's
that,
still
and
there.
that right tackle they've had all season has really come alive. Like he's catching touchdowns.
Oh, what's
week
his
after
name?
week. Mark Andrews.
Mandrews?
Yeah. Andrews.
That right
Yeah.
tackle. I
my
was so
God.
confused. I was like,
I'm
"What the
still
fuck?"
in
right
first
tackle
place
is
in that best ball league, bro. Mark Andrews came alive.
Fine.
This shit is rigged.
Oh my gosh, thank God.
I really want nothing to do with Mark Andrews. I can't believe I dropped him in that league.
They have an extra center in the backfield too that usually lines up there. His name is Patrick Ricard.
Yeah.
And then you have a
He's a unit.
linebacker. You
Pass
have a
rushers, too.
linebacker
Yeah.
from like the 1990s playing running back, running a 4-4. So
Yeah, they're all just units.
they are definitely
that's all it
units.
is.
A bunch of units out there. That's a great way to
A
put it.
bunch of refrigerators running around. The field.
I'll give my list quick. I have the Cincinnati Bengals fourth. I think their defense is absolute dog shit.
Yeah,
They just got stomped out by the Philadelphia Eagles.
yeah.
And I know you said they can hang with the best offense. They didn't have T. Higgins in this one, so that matters. But they got stomped out nonetheless. At number 3, as I said before, power of faith on their side. My Lord and Savior, Jameis Winston. We've been calling for him to get that job for a very long time. He had one game, and it was better than any single Deshaun Watson performance that he has had in his years of being a Cleveland Brown now.
Yep.
So it's not even remotely close. Kevin Stefanski and the Browns went on a ridiculous run last year with Joe Flacco. I can expect them to do something similar with maybe Jameis isn't Flacco. He's not.
He could
but he's a good vet quarterback that's been around for a while. Obviously had a whole offseason with this offense and said coming into the year it was a sign from God to sign with the Cleveland Browns. And he said they're going to go on a crazy run for the remainder of this season. So I trust every word that Jameis Winston says. So
Yeah.
I don't have the balls to put them higher, but they're number 3, Cleveland Browns. At number 2, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. I would love to put them at 1 because, Mike Tomlin's the GOAT. But I can't put the Steelers above the Ravens. The Ravens are an absolute unit. Their offensive firepower is ridiculous. And the biggest difference between the two is the strength of schedule for the remainder of the year. That matters a ton, and the Ravens have an easier schedule from here on out. So, yeah, Ravens at 1.
Checks out.
All right.
All right. I yeeted the fuck out of you guys. Everything I said before the show, I don't believe in.
Oh.
At number 4, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. Like you guys said, the defense sucks. In the game, it's October. Joe Burrow in October, so cool. Joe Shiesty, they're supposed to win. They got stomped out by Jalen Hurts. I don't want to hear it no more. I don't care that T. Higgins was out. They're embarrassing. It's done. It's cooked. At number 3, a wise man once said, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. Jameis Winston, Eminem. I believe, just like you do, Matty J. The point is right there. Last year, once number 4 was gone, what happened? They went on a miraculous run. What happens when number 4 is gone this year? The first game, they have by far their best game of the season.
Yep.
It's not a coincidence that the guys play better when they're not playing for the devil at quarterback. It's not a coincidence. The players want to play. Tom, I know you mentioned the offensive line is bad. Maybe the offensive line was just bad because they were blocking for number 4.
Two things can be true at once.
didn't like
Also
him.
healthy
Didn't like
now,
him.
by the way. Also
Yes.
had getting
But again,
people back.
maybe they were just not that good because
man,
they
I
were
hope so.
blocking for number 4. So, again, this is his one shot. He's not going to miss his chance to blow. I believe in Jameis, just like you, Matty J. So much that the Browns are my number 3 team. At number 2, like I said, I was bamboozling you guys before we started the show. At number 2, I have the Baltimore Ravens. Because guess what? Just like the Bengals, their defense fucking sucks.
Oh.
Their defense sucks. It is not just not as good as last year. It fucking sucks. To let the Cleveland Browns do what they did to them is embarrassing for them. And believe it or not, Deontay Johnson is not going to make the defense better. The offense didn't need Deontay Johnson. Cool move. You got him for free. Makes them a better team. Cool. Does not fix their problem. So until they make a move on defense, I'm not sold on the Ravens as much as I was. This was a wake-up call game for me as a guy who was getting there on the Ravens, saying they were a Super Bowl contender. They could win the thing. This could be the year. A team that for the past decade was built on their defense. Their defense is atrocious. Their secondary fucking sucks. Marcus Williams, who's a veteran, who's supposed to be one of their safeties holding it down, got fucking benched this weekend.
Yep.
The secondary stinks. So yeah. And at number 1, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe this defense is far and away the best defense in the NFL, and it's really not close, and they have the best defensive player in all of football. Why is he the best defensive player in all of football? Because not only does he make plays, Myles Garrett makes plays.
What?
Micah Parsons makes plays.
What?
Max Crosby makes plays.
What?
What?
That's his name.
But he makes plays in the biggest moments every single time. TJ Watt. Every single time there is a big moment and the defense needs a play, somehow, some way, he's not just getting a sack. He's getting a strip sack and giving them the ball back. It's actually remarkable how clutch TJ Watt is. It actually makes no sense. To be able to impact a game and to just completely swing a game on its head on that side of the ball it's literally unheard of. The sacks are cool and all, but the ability to force turnovers the way he does and strip the ball from the quarterback, it's literally unheard of. He's as big of a game changer as there is in the entire NFL, and like we mentioned before, the run game's getting going. Najee Harris with 3 straight 100-yard rushing games. We're seeing the Arthur Smith effect, and Russell Wilson is playing some motivated football right now. And this offensive scheme, it fits everything that makes Russ good. Playing out of the play action, taking some shots. And then I know we mentioned, they haven't played anyone. The schedule gets a little tough for them. The schedule is tough just because of the names. Because they play the Ravens twice. Because they play the Bengals twice. But like you said, Matty J, I think before we started recording, they own that division.
Yep.
They own that division. They're not going to sweep. They're not going to go 6-0 in the division, but they're going to have a positive record within the divisional games. They are. And I think they have to play the Chiefs still, which
They do.
but the Chiefs are due to lose.
Their non-division schedule for the remainder of the year is the Commanders, the Chiefs, and the Eagles. So, Commanders, Chiefs, and Eagles. And
If they
that's
could
tough.
find a way to go 2-1 in those games, then they're winning the division.
I agree
I
with that. Two
would
and-
be
2 and
inclined
1, yeah.
to agree. But the Ravens have a couple teams that suck, like us, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Still
but we've
remaining
already
on the
seen
schedule.
the Ravens could lose to teams that suck. They lost to the Raiders. They lost to the Cleveland Browns.
The Ravens are vulnerable.
The Ravens could lose to teams that
I don't
suck.
think the Browns suck anymore. But
Sure, yeah, but my point being, we've seen the Ravens lose games they're supposed to win. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think I'm sold on Russell Wilson. Like I said, I just think he fits everything they want to do. I know Justin Fields was playing some good ball, but for this team, Russell Wilson just makes too much sense. Like I said, playing out of the play action and just taking some goddamn shots to one of the best deep threats and contested ball catchers in the league in George Pickens. It just makes too much sense. The Muth has been Luth. Najee Harris is having the best, he's not just playing well, he's having the best year of his career to this point right now. Jalen Warren, even last night, it took a little while because he was dealing with injuries in the beginning of the season, but Jalen Warren looked freaking explosive last night, man. So I'm here. I believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are winning the AFC North.
The pickle convinced me. Yeah, I like
so
those two.
my one thing about the Ravens is through 3 quarters, they are one of the best defenses in the NFL. And then come 4th quarter, whatever it is,
That's
Yeah,
a
it's how they-
terrible
Just-
stat.
it
Yeah.
is. It collapses in the 4th quarter. It doesn't make any sense how you're so dominant for 3 quarters and then in the 4th you just completely self implode. Like it makes zero sense. It's almost as if the offense sometimes builds a lead and the defense just gets too comfortable and plays from there. So
The defense is taking a page out of Anthony Richardson book. They're tired.
And it's
That's
not
it.
even
Pretty
just
much.
I mean,
Tired.
Marufi said it in the Dynasty chat today. It's not just that they lost some players on defense and that the players are playing like shit. They lost half their fucking defensive coaching staff.
They have a
Yes.
very
The
young
defense was
defensive
obviously
coach
going to
that's
get
very
worse this year.
experienced.
So, and again, if someone walks through that door, if they make a move at the deadline, we could revisit the conversation, and I'll be willing to flip the switch on it. But as things stand right now, given that they have a 1-game lead, given the fact that historically they own this division, and they specifically own the Baltimore Ravens, I'm gonna ride with the Steelers, man.
Yeah,
I like it.
fair.
yeah.
I
So
fucks with it.
Did you guys see that coming? I bamboozled you guys, right?
no, not really.
You-
I don't know.
you seem like a massive Steeler hater.
Yeah,
Just
I know.
from like not even from before the pod. Like
No,
just,
I know.
You just seem like you would hate the Steelers.
It just all makes so much sense. This is what they've been lacking. Some creative play calling, getting the run. They were always a great defense.
Some solid offense.
That just
Yeah.
needed solid offense. That just needed to run the ball and be able to play out of play action. You have one of, if not the best offensive coordinator in terms of setting up a run scheme. You have Najee Harris playing motivated football, playing the best football of his life. And then you have Russell Wilson, who just makes so much sense operating and running this offense. It all makes so much sense for them right now. It really does.
I think so. I think that costume's getting to you, brother.
Yeah.
I think that costume might be getting to you, brother.
It's hot in here.
Where do you